Hey, show off.
Oh, yeah, I forget. I don't need to push the button to talk.
Good
I'm
day,
like,
YouTube.
Yeah.
Good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Beer Dweebs United. You have myself, you have Radar, you have Nicholas Pickles, we have Gregory. Lee isn't here, he actually has to work tonight. I would have done this on a different night if I knew he had to work tonight since I was off the whole week. Yeah. What are we drinking? We'll start with you there, Nick. Nothing from Nick? Nick isn't drinking anything? Okay, fuck you, Nick. How about you, Radar?
I am drinking Diet Coke,
Diet Coke.
and I got a
Yes.
check bar.
Ooh, and a check bar, eh?
Yep.
Okay. I think I'm going to drink.
I gotta go have a check bar. I'll be right back.
I'm going to
Actually, what are you
drink Black
drinking?
Swan's Raspberry Wild Child.
Oh yes, the
That
popular one there at the beer fest.
Is that still from the fest? It's like 2
No,
months old.
I was just there Sunday.
Oh, I thought it would be a
Oh,
complete
yeah.
drink pour.
Wasn't
And
that the one that won
I
best
got a
beer?
new Black Swan glass, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it was. Now, it might still be a drain pour because I picked it up Sunday and it's been sitting on my table since Sunday. It hasn't been in the fridge.
So I've got something I don't really have high hopes for. I've got a Wells Bombardier Glorious English Ale.
Nice. And how about yourself there, Gregory? What do you have?
Well, I'm going to have a beer in a second. A good old 10 bitter years by our friends at Black Dog. But first, I thought I'd support Ewart, our good friend. So I got some of the whiskey he makes.
Isn't that a fuck you to Ewart?
Everything's
You're going to have 10 bitter years in Northern Harvest
I
Rye.
did get about 3 ounces of the last barrels, from Jamie when I was in Kitchener on Sunday. I haven't tried it yet, but it's sitting over there.
Well, according to Ewart, it's like a bourbon, which is a good thing. Although then again, I can get if it's a bourbon, I can get a lot of bourbons cheaper than $65 a bottle. So we'll see how it goes. I haven't opened my bottle yet.
Yeah. So on Sunday we went to TWB, so Together We're Bitter.
Oh
We
yeah.
went to Block 3 in Innocente, and we hit up Black Swan.
Was TWB the same guys there?
Yeah, we met up with Colum to do an interview with them and chat things up, and yeah, they have a lot of interesting ideas they have planned. He wants to come on the show sometime in the near future and chat with us.
Nice.
Which one was that?
The brewer.
TWB.
The one that reminded us of Simon.
Yeah, the guy in the back. He was actually pretty awesome.
The brewery next to a mosque.
Yeah.
Or that Muslim center, or whatever it was.
Now,
I mean, I don't want to be racist or anything, but this is like right next to that place.
I tried the Raspberry Wild Child, on Nitro at the brewery.
Oh.
And oh my god, is it good on Nitro.
Yeah.
I think overall, I do enjoy the CO2 more. The CO2 seems to actually make the beer. It just makes it a better experience. But taste-wise, it's just so much... and also, the CO2 is a lot more acidic. It's a much more tart beer, where the Nitro actually just makes it more raspberry flavored.
I suppose. Softens it.
Yeah, and then they had their IPA on Nitro too, and I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about that, because we've talked before, like, I don't know for sure if I want a IPA on cask. I think the effervescence helps clear off the palate. But
They made the Nitro IPA or something once?
Guinness made a Nitro IPA, and so did Sam Adams, I do believe. But yeah, it was a pretty good IPA as well. And apparently every once in a while they do the porter on Nitro. I didn't get to try that though. skip over into the next window, and we will chat some beer topics, guys. Some beer topics. We have 6 viewers. To all the viewers, if you post any questions or comments, we will try and get to them. We always do. It's just whether or not we get to them right away.
Tonight?
Signal Brewing Company planning an October opening in Corbyville, Ontario.
In where, Ontario?
Corbyville.
Corbyville.
Yeah. So I'm going to assume it's somewhere near Belleville because the Belleville Intelligence reports that a historic community in central Ontario with a connection to one of Canada's longest-running alcohol companies will soon be home to a new craft brewery. Signal Brewery is being established by local businessman Ryan Cournier in Corbyville, a town now part of the city of Belleville that was originally home of the Corby Distillery. The brewery is currently under construction in several former distillery buildings that have been vacant for nearly 3 decades. No, nothing about what beers are going to be starting. What the fuck is that? Just that they're going to be having a patio and the usual retail stores. Now, for those of you that are ever on Manitoulin Island, Split Rail Brewing Company is expanding. They have their Hawberry Ale, their Copper Lager, and their Amber Ale, and they're exclusively available at the brewery. And they are...
Hey, Jamie.
Hey, bro.
Jamie!
Hey, Jamie, good day.
Davey.
Hey.
What's up?
So, Jamie got to meet the punter on Sunday.
I did.
We're sorry that we couldn't do more with Jamie, but we ended up having to rush out to Black Swan and then come back to Kitchener because Colum talks a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
The guy's awesome. The guy is awesome.
I actually picked this up while I was there. TWB is what Rhino was talking about. This is, I don't know if you can see the Wit the Hell. I'm going to try it tonight.
Call him, is that the brewmaster or the guy at the bar there with the long hair?
Brewmaster guy.
Ah, yeah.
The
Yeah,
guy
he
that
does.
gave us the tour of Hot Tub Time Machine and all that when we were there.
Yeah.
I love the name of that.
So how was the rest of
That brewery is such a... Well, we recorded at Black Swan, and we lost half the... Wow, the internet is shitty tonight.
Is it me?
We lost half the interview in Stratford because the punter accidentally hit stop and didn't realize it.
Nice.
Until the camera turned off. And I wasn't going back to redo the whole interview, so I'm like, yeah, we'll just deal with half of it. Whatever. But the Black Swan makes some great beer, they really do, but they are probably one of the more disorganized breweries I've been in. Like, especially for a brewery where you can see the brewery area right from the tasting room.
Parking is an issue too. I know that you put it in the video, but I have been there once. I took a road trip out there, and I actually sent some out to Guy, some of the Wild Child, and another one. And yeah, I had to same thing. I had to park far away. Not super far, but it was far enough away that it was a bit of a pain.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. They make some great beer, but yeah, those are the only two detractors from it, I'd say. And the first one isn't really a detractor because there are a lot of disorganized breweries out there, especially if you start traveling to a bunch of them. There are a bunch of them that are not the most organized, most visually appealing, shall we say?
Yeah,
One thing I do. Go ahead.
Sorry, do I have an echo? Like, am I talking a little late? Or?
No, you don't have an echo.
No? Okay. I was just going to say I've only been there the one time, and in all honesty, the person that was working behind the counter was, I don't know. It wasn't like going to TWB where you feel like you're one of their buddies or something like that. I just had that kind of, I don't know if it's a hipster vibe or whatever at Black Swan, but I don't know. I just the person I was talking to should have been someone working in the back, not in the front.
I'm curious if we were dealing with the same person, because I called them because we were late. We were going to get there late. So I called them while we were on the road, and I'm like, is Ryan or Bruce there? And I got attitude back from it. No, this is their days off. I go, okay, well, I'm supposed to meet them there in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
it was a woman.
Okay.
I don't remember. It was quite a while ago. I don't remember which person it was, and it wasn't like she was super rude to me, but she also just wasn't the type of person you expect to be the face of the brewery when you walk in.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, that's the weird thing, right? There's a lot
didn't
of
seem to
breweries
know
that
much. Like I had a couple questions that she didn't seem to, want to indulge too much about the beer. Just like, man, here's this one, here's that one, and I kind of felt like I was in her way more than a customer. So.
You see,
Are you sure she
there are a
worked
lot
there?
of
Yes, definitely worked there.
There are a lot of breweries that seem to have the wrong people working their retail store. I mean, you used to go into Trafalgar and they had the dirty gardener guy, always working behind the counter, and it was like, why is he the guy that I'm dealing with when I'm coming into this place to chat about beer or buy things and all that? Like he did a good enough job once he opened up to you, but he was short for the first few answers, and then he opens up and you get to know him more. But you're sitting there going, why are you the one doing this?
Yeah. I don't have the same experience, or I haven't been to near as many breweries as many of you guys, I'm sure, but the few in this area, TWB and Inocente, are both awesome to go to. It's TWB, as you know from the tour, that guy is amazing, and the other people that work there are pretty fun. But Inocente, I think it's Steve's mother that works there.
And his whole family does. His sister's there too. And
yeah, the mother. Most of the time when I go in, she's the one behind the counter, and she's awesome. She's just like, "Oh, hi, how are you doing?" And you feel like you're going over to grandma's for cookies, except it's beer. So I like that place for that.
And that place does have a very high family vibe.
Mm-hmm. As it should be. Like, it's a small little joint that you're going to, and you're just picking up a little, thing like this of beer. It should be fun to go in there. It shouldn't be.
And block 3, you go in, and it's always a really nice place, but I don't know. I walked in there this time. I didn't know anybody, which was normal. Like, it was a Sunday. Most of the people you would know aren't going to work on a Sunday. But I walk into this place, and I'm like, wow. Because as these breweries get more and more popular and they hire more and more staff, you stop seeing some of the people that you really enjoyed at that brewery.
Was it young guys working at Block 3?
No, well, one young guy and 2 young girls, like in their early 20s.
Yeah. As I think most of the people that work there, I think they're all in their 20s. I go there.
Kevin's the old man. Kevin Greer from the original brewmaster over at Wellington. He's the old man of the building now.
Not sure if I've ever actually met him.
He's their new brewmaster. He took over from their old brewmaster who didn't want to be the brewmaster anymore.
Okay.
Guys, my sister and mother are here. I had to let you go. I'll be back shortly whenever you're gone.
Tell them to join BDU. It'll be a good time.
That'd be weird.
Didn't like that idea too much.
Nope.
Gotta get that guy a camera.
Yeah. I have an extra
we don't know
webcam. I
what
should
we're
send it to Guy. Actually, that's a great idea. I'm sending Guy a beer mail here in the near future, so.
I'm having 10 bitter cans.
10 beer pussies.
You're sending him a beer mail in the near future.
Well,
how are you going to do that? You're going to be locked out in a day.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to work. I'll have to figure it out. Either send it by Purelator, but I picked up that Trailer Park Boys whiskey for him, so I need to send it to him somehow. And I got a couple cans of something else to send him to.
Now, obviously, I mean, FedEx and Purelator are probably a little bit more expensive, but how are they in regards to like looking at their packages? Are they a little more thorough than
I don't
Canada
want to look
Post
at
is?
their package. What are you, pervert?
Good day, Greg. Greg from
That's
Ireland,
Joe.
the better Greg.
He is not the better Greg. He's different Greg. He likes to drink booze, much like this Greg.
No, he's the better Greg.
Oh.
I like how this Greg I like how our Greg got kicked out onto his balcony.
I didn't get kicked out of my balcony. I came here willingly.
Sure you did.
That's not
Actually-
what the conversations I heard in there were.
No, she was saying she wants to chill on the balcony herself and not be on BDU, but we have a really big balcony, like goes all the way that far back.
Oh, wow.
So and it goes around the corner, so she's gonna go.
He's
hang around the
rich,
road.
bitch!
No, not really. We just got a cool place that we got a good deal on, but it also goes around the corner, so she's gonna hang out there, so none of you guys can see her on camera.
It's like, who's got the $2,000 cat?
Which I got for free, and it's $4,000. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, I missed the digit.
Hey, Schoolhouse Brewery in Windsor, Nova Scotia is planning on moving and expanding.
Ooh. Where are they
After
moving to?
2 years of operating in rural Nova Scotia, out of a namesake historic schoolhouse, where he also lives with his family, wow, the brewery will soon be entering Phase 2, with a move to a larger and slightly more urban location. Hartley has signed a lease with the Lay Young Tan to move into space adjacent to Tan Coffee at 40 Water Street in Windsor, Nova Scotia.
Ooh, Windsor. Cool.
He's going to be using a repurposed 10-barrel copper brew house. Brewing expected to start in November.
I might have to go down there next year. There's a nice little motel that I stayed at one time in Windsor that was pretty cheap and not dirty.
Nice. Arts and Science, which is the shared Nickelbrook Collective Arts brewery, opened their beer garden on July 1st. They will be pouring beer there Thursdays 4 to 9, Friday and Saturday 11 to 10:30 p.m. and Sundays 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sorry. So yeah, cool. Nice little beer garden. They actually have a really intriguing property. They could do whatever the fuck they wanted. Wayfarer's Ales now open in Nova Scotia, and this one is in Port Williams, Nova Scotia. A new brewery founded by a collective of craft beer enthusiasts in Nova Scotia is now open in Port Williams. Wayfarer's Ales, taking its name from medieval travelers in England who would stop at local churches, knock on the door, and be given a small horn of ale and a piece of bread to refresh and help them along their journey. It's currently in soft opening mode and is selling growlers of its debut beer, Helen Summer Blonde. Additional brands will include a Ruby Red Ale, a Scottish Ale, and the One-Eyed River Hag IPA.
Yarr.
I wouldn't mind the one-eyed hag.
Suki Brewing planning to open this year in Suki, BC.
Cool.
Spooky.
Do they have the news here for Greystone, by any chance?
No. Dog Island Brewing opening soon in Slave Lake, Alberta.
Cool.
They'll be opening with a wit, a session ale, a berry ale, and an Old Town Porter.
Seems legit.
Everything's legit. So, I don't know if you've actually looked when you were at Innocente there, Jamie, but they have those drink tanks, the drink tank growlers, which you can get in 2-liter or 4-liter sizes, and they run the price of $97 or $148.
Which they look fucking awesome, but I wouldn't spend that much on a growler.
Yeah, $97 for a 2-liter growler. It comes with a $12 fill, so you spent $97 to get the growler and a fill. For $97, I could buy a 20-liter fucking keg of something.
Yeah, Apparently they're quite efficient, though. I mean,
I hear they're quite efficient.
Yeah.
But I can also buy a $20 fucking thermos.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, the most I ever spent on a growler was I bought the one from Steam Muscle, and that was $40 and included a $12 fill, so basically $28 for the growler. And it was fancy looking.
Yeah.
It's not a very good growler, to be honest, because it does not keep beer fresh. If I get Steam Whistle in a growler, I have to drink it within a day or it goes flat.
Yeah. It's one of those things that it would be a great gift if you're looking for, spending $100 on your buddy or something like that.
I think at $100 you could get me something much better than a growler that's supposed to keep stuff cold. It's a pretty cool one, sure, and I mean it's supposed to be able to keep stuff cold without ice for up to 6 hours. Okay, that's awesome. But yeah, again, for $100 you could buy me 5 normal growlers filled.
Yeah. I honestly don't use growlers enough to.
Yeah. I was talking to.
I like Innichene because you buy bottles there.
Yes.
That's one of the things
and
I wish.
The bottles there are very reasonably priced.
Yeah, I wish TWB had cans.
Well, remember, we were harassing him about that, and he's thinking about crowlers, and he's thinking about other things. So
I personally would go there more often if I could get like cans or crowlers or whatever you call it. Just that way you could buy 2 or 3 cans and keep them, like a crowler, you could keep in your fridge longer, I would assume.
Yes.
Probably a month or 2 would still be fine.
Well, the crowler is fully sealed just like a can, so as long as canned beer would last, you can make a crowler last, so almost indefinitely.
Would it, though? Like, I guess only if it's filled properly, right? Like, you would have to fill it right up so there's no air in it.
Yeah, well, that's what the machine is supposed to do to begin with. Like, it's...
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you are right. It does. It matters how they fill it. Like if they stop it and leave head in there, and yeah, it's...
Yeah, but I certainly would go there more often if they had a can machine.
Yeah, and like I said to Colin, they're not that expensive to buy if you really want to get them.
Yeah, $3-4 grand, and average Joe can buy that. I don't mean our average Joe. I mean just the average person.
No, our average Joe could buy that if he really wanted to.
Well, that's because
you could buy a crowler machine, or you could buy like 10 of these 4-liter drink tanks.
Get all the coconut beers.
Well, average Joe he's got Buffalo money. So.
Excuse me,
Buffalo money. Some of those American dollars.
So what Steve's sister was telling me is that a lot of their drink tanks get bought by the construction workers, and they then use them to put their soup and stuff in. And I'm like, man, I'm not spending $100 on a fucking on a fucking thermos that I'm putting soup in after that. I'll go to Walmart and get a thermos.
Well, see, that's the thing, right? Is that we'll both talking about growlers and thermoses. Both of them work just fine for getting a regular growler or a regular thermos. It's not like they don't work and this is perfecting the growler so it works properly. Like, the ones they sell at Great Lakes are the very basic growlers. There's a $5 deposit on them, which you get back if you bring it back. And they'll keep your beer fresh, from my experience, at least for a week, probably longer. But my beer doesn't last more than a week. So.
Well, we've also had people like Joe prove that a growler can keep a beer fresh for... He's on his fucking belt. That's a fucking rice rocket bike going down the street in Etobicoke.
You think it was? You know what it was? It was some fucking old ass pickup truck.
Really? That's what it was?
That's what it was.
It sounded like a cherry bomb on the end of an exhaust from a bike.
No, it was an old pickup truck that probably had a rusted out exhaust.
Wow.
But I don't know how the sound comes through on the iPad, so it may not come through very clearly. So trust me, there's plenty of those rice rockets around here with their
Ephemera blueberry.
What was that about blueberry?
Where the hell was I?
Unibrew's got a limited edition Ephemera blueberry coming.
Oh, well, Waterloo Brewing has a limited edition blueberry Weizen out right now.
Nice.
I've yet to have a blueberry beer I actually liked.
Actually, I was just going to mention last year, or sorry, Hammond River Brewing just released their blueberry ale for this year, which I've heard isn't as good as last year. But if it's even slightly as good as last year, it's going to be fantastic.
Well, Mr. Hammond River Brewing has a very evil sister.
Yeah.
Little sister.
Yeah.
Things that you like to do.
Who brings their brewery master
Blueberry,
owner? Who brings their
What?
brewery master, brewery owner, brother, fucking Niagara Brewing Company beers?
No, you don't do that to
Somebody
people
who
in
doesn't
shirt
love their
jerk.
brother, probably. He's probably
Do
not
they have
been
any
out
new
there.
canned
He
beers, or
doesn't
is it still just their 4 regular lineup?
All you can get in cans is their 4 regular lineup.
So I'm gonna be in. Unfortunately, I got to be in Niagara-ish area for about 6 hours on Saturday, so I gotta hit up some breweries there while I'm to kill time. So
I'd say I would come and join you, but I'm not going to be here.
well, that's too darn bad.
I'm going to be in Seaforth, Ontario.
Well, the thing is, I'm going to be in the Niagara on the Lake area, so I'm probably going to try out all those breweries, but I really don't feel like spending like $200 just to try all their different bottles.
If you're going to drink some stuff sample wise, the price is great. If you're going to take stuff home, the price isn't great.
That's the thing is, I might go to the Exchange, although I really don't like their operation. I don't really want to give them money. So
The Exchange, if you go to the Exchange, buy the stuff there. I want to get their Oud Brun, but I'm not going to be able to get there.
Well, if you want a bottle, I can probably buy it and drop it off at your house.
If they have a bottle of it, that would be amazing. If not, whatever.
You know what's weird? Like, I saw them on Twitter where they were saying something like, this is the last day to buy our... I don't remember if it was the Oud Brun or what beer it was, but I'm like, are they like Disney or something? After a certain time, they put it in the vault and...
They might be doing that.
They
might be playing the Muskoka game and put it in the vault, age it, and then sell it for triple the money next year.
Yeah, well,
which would be
since
disgusting since it's already like $15 a bottle.
Yeah.
I've had people say, "Hey, I want to do a beer trade. Can you get me stuff from the Exchange?" I go, "It's not really worth us doing a beer trade for Exchange beers, man." Well, why not? I go, "Well, they're 750s or this much money. So already I can't get as many in the box. The shipping's going to be more, and they're just regular beers right now. They haven't gotten to their sours yet, and they're this much money. So, I mean, I don't ever really do the dollar for dollar value on beer trades, but I don't want to go and spend $45 to get you 3 beers that are then going to take me another $35 to ship to you.
I just don't like a bunch of millionaires who feel they suddenly are beer connoisseurs and they should fast track, and because they have the money they can hire the best brewmaster and build the best restaurant. Oh, suddenly, hey, and in the most expensive area we've got the best brewery.
You know what? That's the biggest thing too, right? Like her prices on her bottles are there because she needs to make money to pay her rent. Her building is like $150 a square foot.
Yeah. And again, I could be wrong. I don't know her. I don't know anything about her. My guess is she's in it for the money. She's probably not in it because she loves craft beer. Because you know what? The guys who love craft beer don't necessarily have a lot of money. They love to make it. They scrimp and save, and they get people to lend them money. And they start with shitty little systems.
They start with like plastic fermenters and.
Yeah, and they work their way up, and they gain popularity because their beer is good, not because they can afford, whether it's their own or their daddy's money or whoever. They can afford to build everything the best. It's like, well, that's kind of not really the point.
Then what else is in Niagara on the Lake for you? There is Oast House.
Silversmith.
Oast House, Silversmith.
Oast House is another one I'm never too impressed with. I've had their beers on sample. I've never brought myself to buy bottles because just.
Well, they don't even bottle everything, right? They bottle their saison. They bottle the county barn raiser, and they bottle like the Bière de Mars and the Bière de Garde, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. They make a lot of their money off of growler sales too, and off of merch sales. Like you look at their merch sales, and their glasses are like $15 each.
Yeah, I actually bought one of their glasses just because I like the shape of it. I didn't have a glass like that, but yeah, I think I could spend $15 on it. And was a ripoff. But I mean, I didn't buy any bottles. I think I spent $5 for 3 other samples. And
Yeah,
none of the beers was that good.
those Niagara-on-the-Lake breweries are great breweries to go to if you have somebody driving for you, because of the fact that they are amazing prices to just sit at the bar and try their stuff.
Which is what I think I'm going to do. Unless there's something really interesting, I don't think I'm going to buy much bottles there. Even Silversmith, which is probably the most reasonable of them, still sells like a $9 black lager.
Yeah. Well, you also have you can go to the college and get a bunch of stuff for like $3 each.
Oh yeah, the college. I go there and I buy whatever cans they have because their cans are generally a good price. I mean, their beer's not great, but it's fun to try.
Some of the beer is actually really good, but yeah, you're right. On like average, you're getting stuff that isn't great but fun to try. They also have the cidery there now. If you go up to the wine retail store, you can buy some ciders.
Oh, in Niagara?
Yeah.
That I might actually be interested in trying. I don't drink that many ciders, and they're kind of interesting to try when I do. I love beer ciders.
The last time I was there, we tried to go up and get it, but they were having their sale, their vendor sale. So you had to park like 150 yards away and then walk 500 yards to get there because you had to go around the different fences and all that. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that. You just lost the sale for the day.
Yeah.
I don't need your cider that bad. I'll just go to the beer store.
That's true. That's an option. Yeah, they often have interesting stuff. Like, I mean, the thing is, I'll give them credit for experimentality. Like, last time I was there, I think I got a sour double IPA or something, and frankly, it wasn't a very good beer, but I'm like, I've never had one of these before, so at least it's interesting.
You got an STD the last time you were there?
To your comment earlier, Greg, about people that start up and build and all that, Cam Haynes posted a link for Evergreen, for the Evergreen Craft Ales, and said, like, these guys, brew in your garage and go from there. And that is actually the brewery that we talked about a few months back. That is the only brewery in Ontario that has a manufacturing license in a residential area. And their hours change each day by when their neighbors are going to be home and everything. Like, they don't want people driving there and everything when their neighbors are around. It pisses them off. But yeah, they actually brew in their garage of their actual house, and they sell out of their garage at their actual house.
And see, that's passion for you. I mean, again, I'm certain that some of these people, like, I'm sure the guys who started Bellwoods, I'm sure they've got a bit of money back in them. That can't be cheap setup, even though it's very small. I'm sure a lot of these guys have money, but I don't like the idea of somebody, whether or not they're passionate or not, I don't like the idea of just like, hey, let me just write a check and have the best of everything. We're going to import the best brewmaster. We're going to make the best restaurant, have the nicest looking place. We're going to put it in Niagara-on-the-Lake, one of the most expensive places in the country. It's like, has she ever even made her own batch of beer? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know if she has, but if you read any of her interviews or anything like that, like her media interviews, she doesn't really talk about making beer at all. She just talks about loving drinking it.
Yeah, she probably enjoys drinking it, and somebody told her, hey, you can make money off of this, and they're probably right. She's probably going to make a lot of money off of this. At least long term. Short term, she's probably losing money. But
yeah, once her sours start up, seeing as they are the big thing right now, once her sours jump, then she's gonna make huge because she can charge even more because of where she is.
Well, I'm sure as soon as it's available, Beeraholic will grab a pallet of it and then send you a picture.
Yeah, most likely. I don't know. See, I'm still a big fan of breweries that sell their beer at a more reasonable price. I'm not talking about like dirt cheap, because there are some breweries I go into and I buy beer and I'm like, you really have to raise your prices. But like, I've been buying. Yeah, New Limburg. They sell their beer dirt cheap, and it's good beer. Like where they are, it's dirt cheap. It's like $3.50 for a 500 milliliter bottle of a fucking milk stout.
Yeah, I could have spent the rest of the trip drinking there, man. That was a fucking cheap.
Yeah, like it was an amazing. Their prices are amazing, and they're good beer. It's not like you've walked into a place and they're making subpar beer and charging a little bit of a price. He's making good stuff, and his prices that are dirt cheap. Then you walk into a place like where I'm going this Saturday. You can order ahead of time at half hours on Earth, and they hold the stuff for you. So I've ordered beer for the last 3 weeks, and it's all in a box waiting for me in their fridge. But their bottles are all sours and farmhouse ales, and they range in price from $4.50 for a 500 to $10 a 500. Like, their prices are actually reasonable. I'm willing to pay that for what I'm getting.
So you're making the trip out this Saturday?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, is it going to be new beer from the last time?
Yeah, it's going to be all different beers from the last time. They actually have such a small. They have such a small system that basically every week they come out with 4 or 5 new beers.
Oh shit! Yeah, I have to go there sometime. Check it out.
It's the same thing. If you're going to make it there in the next month, say you have a plan to get there in a month, every week just order something.
Yeah.
And they'll put it all aside for you, and then you can get there and get like 12 bottles.
It's pretty cool.
And they'll hold it for a few weeks for you.
Yeah, I sent them a message first. I'm like, how long do you hold this stuff? They're like, we've held stuff for up to 2 months. We're okay with that. As long as you're coming to get it, you've already paid for it, we'll hold it.
Ooh, that's
awesome.
good to know.
As long as you paid for it, what do they care? I mean,
yeah.
it can rot for all they care. They get paid for it already.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I still think Great Lakes is one of the best.
Great Lakes has a lot of beers that are great priced, and then they have a lot of beers that you look at the price and you go, why? But
You're right. Their bottles are still a little bit nuts sometimes. Like their Winter Solstice was like $15 a bottle. A lot of their experimental beers, which aren't really that big beers, they're like 5-6% beers, are like $10. But their cans, you get their IPAs, which in my opinion, still the best IPAs you can get overall, and they're like $3.50 a can, and they'll even give you a case discount where if you buy a case, you get them for like $3 each if you want that many. And then like there's some of their big beers, like their Apocalypse Later is like they're like $5 a can, and you can get a case discount on that as well. Like
excuse me.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Now I'm going to say we are talking about price right now, which does get some of the people that come on this panel all worked up. We're not saying that it's stupid that their prices are what they are. We're just talking about breweries that have prices that we really like and why we like them. And really, if you're willing to spend the money, you're willing to spend the money. I'm really not all that willing because of just I've had like 3,700 beers now. I know what I can get for my money. So sometimes I'll look at a price and go, why? Why would I pay that when I can get 3 of this beer for this same price?
Like,
but again, people will pay it. That's why the price is the way it is.
Like even when you look at cans at the LCBO, and I understand beer prices have gone up. You know, you can't get Canuck for, $2.25 a can like you used to be able to. That being said, I see no justification for going to the LCBO and saying, hey, this is some brewery I've never heard of before. It's their first can. Great. They made a lager. Okay. $3.15 a can. It's a lager. Why? Like, if I really want a lager, I can get a Great Lakes Blonde for, I think it's $2.15 a can. Like, why am I paying an extra $1?
Talking about that, have you had the Ace Hill Pilsner yet?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, because that's a Toronto contract craft that has been all over the media as being the greatest Pilsner ever because it's at a whole bunch of the big Toronto restaurants. But then I've also read a lot of reviews from people like Jordan St. John, Robin LeBlanc, fucking Ben Johnson saying that it's actually a horrible beer that just has really good marketing. So it's one that I'm actually intrigued to try. And there's a story behind this beer. I don't know if any of you guys know the story behind 3-Speed Lager from Amsterdam. But 3-Speed Lager has been out for a little bit now in the LCBOs. It came out last year. It won some awards last year at the Ontario Brewing Awards. Early this year at the Ontario Brewing Awards, but it came out late last year. So recently, since it hit the LCBO, there's been a bar in Toronto that's been talking about this beer. Because the bar is called the 3-Speed, and the bar's been open since 2008. They've been making their own 3-Speed lager since 2009. And they're saying their 3-Speed lager has nothing to do with ours. So it's another one of those things with Amsterdam. For those people that don't know, Amsterdam is the reason why Blue Moon is called Belgian Moon in Canada. It's the reason why Goose Island isn't here with a 613 or a 416 urban wheat and all that, because they've been buying trademarks on beer names that weren't trademarked internationally, that were only trademarked in the U.S. Same reason Firestone Walker isn't in Canada. They own the trademark on Firestone and Walker. So
Fuck.
they
See, that one's a dick move.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
smart.
it is. I like Amsterdam, but they're fucking dicks. If that's what
No,
they're doing,
and
they're
I mean,
fucking
See,
dicks.
I'm not upset over the
they are
Goose
fucking
Island
dicks.
stuff, but the Firestone Walker.
But that's the thing. You should be upset. You can't pick and choose. If you're going to be upset with what they're doing, you have to be upset with what they're doing. It doesn't matter who the victims are or who the aggravator is. If you don't like that move, you can't pick and choose. That's kind of a dick move on your own. I mean, I think it's funny what they've done. I also think it's a dick move. But I was talking to the guys at 3 Speed saying this is a brewery that has done this. Either they don't care, and because you don't have a trademark on 3 Speed, they're going to soon trademark it, and then you're not going to be able to even call yourself the 3 Speed anymore, or they don't even know you exist. One of those two is the answer to it. And it was the same thing. One of them was like, well, you know, if they were going to pull that game on just the big guys, I would be okay with it, but pulling it on us is kind of a dick move. Well, no. That's counterproductive. It's either a dick move or it isn't.
Yeah, no, it's a dick move, and especially when it's another local Toronto bar and it's, you know, it's a 3-speed lager. Like, maybe it'd be a little different if it was like a 3-speed stout or something like completely different. But
yeah, they're both 3-speed lagers. The bar is all bicycle oriented and all that. The can from Amsterdam, bicycle on it, you know, like. So either they know what they're doing and they're going to try and force them out just for shits and giggles, or they have no clue they exist. Which one is more reasonable to think? The bar's been around for almost 8 years now. I'm going to go with that they're just being dicks.
Now, I don't know shit about bikes. Is there any reason it has to be a 3-speed lager? Could it be a 2-speed lager or a 4-speed lager or a 5-speed lager? Is 3-speed, does that have some significance in the biking world?
I have no clue, man.
Okay, because I'm just wondering about that, because I'm like, it
I have
seems to me maybe...
I have a 10-speed out in the garage. That's all I have. No.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe 3-speed's a cool bike or something. I don't know
Maybe
what a
it's
bike...
where's John from Kingston? We need John from Kingston. He knows all about bikes. He's one of those bikers where you can't stop pedaling. What the fuck's it called? Fixed biking?
You mean a motorcycle?
No, he bicycles, but as for the wheel to move forward, the pedals always have to go. You can't actually stop and coast. You're always pedaling.
The fixies.
Oh, really?
That sucks.
It's hardcore.
That would suck.
Yeah, it's fixed biking, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Very hipster.
Well, you know, every summer they have the base cell ride to Heart that literally rides right under our balcony here, and we get to see that. And I remember this one guy.
While you're smoking and drinking.
Yeah, basically we're like, enjoy your riding for Heart, suckers. I'm giving myself a heart attack right now. But there was one guy who had a bike where you literally, and I don't think it was because the guy was crippled or anything. I think he was a perfectly normal, healthy person. But he chose to have a bike where you actually pedaled with your hands. And as we were watching him, you know, bike by, it just kind of looked like he had maybe regretted his decision, because he looked like he was working a lot harder than anyone else there. Everyone else just coasting, having a good time. He's
Well, yeah, because everybody thinks their arms are the strongest muscles in your body, but it's your legs fully.
Oh, your legs are way stronger.
So your legs put out a lot less effort to do the same amount of work as your arms are doing.
Well, it's like, look what most people can bench press versus what most people can squat, right? Like, you know, most people, if they're lucky, can maybe bench press 200 pounds, and most people could probably squat 300-400 without too much difficulty, or at least a little bit of practice, because your leg muscles are just that much stronger.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's used to lifting your fat ass every day.
It's true. Well, your legs
True.
are working out whether you want them to or not. I mean, your hands are only working out when you're masturbating, and even then, it's only one hand.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Unless you switch it.
That's true, and that's an
So
important thing to do.
there was a tweet that was well, sorry, it is a Facebook thing, but there was a Facebook post that was cut and pasted and shared around the internet. I shared it recently. I find it funny. I also find it dumb, but I find it funny at the same time. Anyway, from the LCBO, what's your favorite Canada Day drink? A, local craft beer, B, Caesars, C, Ontario wine, or D, something different? Stephen Croteau answers, water, because your stupid fucking Monopoly closes on days that people want to have drinks the most. Stupid fucks, this post is like salt in the wound. Fire your social media guy. So I found that hysterical, myself. I think he could have been a lot more comical without the swearing. He could have had a lot of better words put in there. And that's coming from a guy that does swear every second fucking word. But
Wait, he's complaining that they're closed on Canada Day?
Yeah, well, their question was, what is your favorite Canada Day drink? And he's like, water, because you're closed. But he in theory, you know, you sit there and you can think about it and realize what he's talking about. I mean, if you don't want to go to a bar, where can you buy booze? Oh, wait, it's closed. You know, like... So I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, he could have been a lot more funny about this. The monopoly is there. It's kind of not a full monopoly anymore. It's like it is still a monopoly, but isn't. Like, they still have full control over what the few grocery stores that are allowed to sell can sell and everything. But whatever. We're not going down that road. We go down that road all the time. But I mean, I just thought the tweet was funny.
Could also list your favorite craft beer that is open that day.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, there is
TWB was
TWB.
open Canada Day.
Most craft breweries are open on Canada Day. Most wineries are open on Canada Day. Hell, even some craft distilleries are open on Canada Day. I'd actually wonder if like H.R.M. Walker's retail store was open on Canada Day. I'm going to drink. I'm done my whole growler there, so I'm going to move on to. Oh no, I'm not going to drink that.
Was that an Inachene beer?
No, it was a.
Oh, just the bottle looked like it.
It was a brimstone beer that was dropped. I'm scared of this. One, because it's my least favorite brimstone beer to begin with, but I don't know how long it was outside. It's Brimstone's Hail Mary, but it was dropped off at my house in the mailbox, and I didn't know it was there. So I don't know how long it was sitting up there.
Brimstone, that's the place in Ridgeway.
Yes. Cool. So what I'm going to drink is the Raspberry Uber from Nickelbrook.
Nice. Sorry to backtrack. I just wanted to ask you, Rhino, what was that place in Alberta? It was on a lake. Was it Cold Lake, Alberta, that opened up?
No, it opened up in Slave Lake, Alberta.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking about that. The buddy Lee that I did the beer trade with, he's in Cold Lake, Alberta.
Yes, sir.
That's a 4-hour drive.
See, this is the thing, right? This is a raspberry, just like the Raspberry Wild Child. But I actually think this one looks nicer. I mean, this one looks just a deeper red. The head pours a pink hue. I think visually this is just a nicer beer. It's not nearly as sour, though.
Which one do you like more from Black Swan, the Raspberry Wild Child or just the regular?
The raspberry by far.
Yeah.
They don't even seem to be making the regular Wild Child anymore, which is fine, because the raspberry just seems to make the beer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not a sour guy, but yeah, it was a good beer.
Yeah, and again, it on nitro is exquisite. But so was the IPA on nitro. You missed out on some good nitro beers, sir.
I did. Did you get back to Aberb?
No.
No. Okay. So you went to
we
Block
went to Block
3
3
in
and
Inachene. Yeah. Okay.
We thought about Aberb because on the way back to the highway we were like 2 minutes away, and we're like, you know what? Fuck it. This is the second time I've gone to Kitchener and just said fuck it to Aberb. One of these times I'm going to have to go and buy their beer.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to Aberb, you really want to go there to get some food and then get, like, I don't think they have much for sale. I think they have their Kolsch and then usually one other one on tap that you can get.
Well, if you read their website, they're supposed to have everything bottled.
Not when I went there. I haven't been there in a long time, but the 2 times that I've been there, that's all they've had, the Kolsch, and I don't remember what the other one was. So it was disappointing because it was both beers that I don't really care about. I did buy a bottle of each, but I was just like, yeah, sure, it's a good Kolsch, but it's not generally what I want to go to a bottle shop and purchase myself. So it would be better to go to the restaurant, get some food, and get a flight.
Yeah. You know what's going to be better than going there to get a flight? Going to Half Hours on Earth in Seaforth, Ontario, and then Fork River, and then possibly Blue Elephant on the way home.
Bastard.
Can I just say something for a second?
No.
I just want to comment on the female sex in general, okay? Women are independent, they're equal to men, blah, 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 and all things, you know, they can do everything a man can do, except when their fucking nails are wet. Then they can fucking do nothing, and they need everything fucking done for them.
Is she around the corner?
Yeah, she can't hear me. She's like, can you pour me a beer? I just did my nails. Can you turn these candles on? I just got my nails on.
Is she doing this with her hands? Kind of a flutter thing?
Can't see her right now. I think my internet's crapping out because I'm not getting any video from you.
From me?
Yeah. Oh, there you are. I see you now.
I was doing this with my hands, like the flutter.
Okay, now it's good.
It doesn't like your flutter, apparently.
It does not like my flutter.
Too much
No,
movement.
you know what? The stupid app does that sometimes where it just cuts video on people after a while. And if I restart it, it'll bring it back. But
That flutter.
yeah. And I was like, oh, can you tuck me in? I can't wreck my nails. Oh. On the bright side, you can totally do stuff to her that she can't defend herself. And no, I don't mean anything abusive for all you social justice warriors out there.
Bose announces an annual gift for Niagara College brewing students, and one of these gifts I think is cherry-picked for me, and I'm going to have to go into this. So, Van Cleek Hill, Ontario, during the 10th anniversary celebration at the brewery this past weekend, Bose All Natural Brewing co-founders Tim and Steve Bouchain announced the establishment of a new annual legacy gift for students in the Niagara College Brewmaster and Brewery Operation Management Program. Starting with the upcoming 2016-17 academic session, 3 awards of $1,000 and 1 scholarship of $2,000 will be issued each year based on the following criteria. The $1,000 awards will be given to Level 2 students who have shown promise in brewing innovation, be that in style, technique, or approach. Now, here's the one I think is for me. The $2,000 scholarship, intended to promote diversity and equal representation, will be awarded to a student who is working with cultural, gender, or health obstructions. I'm blind. I'm getting this fucking award. Going to school.
There you go. There you go, buddy. Can we just make a point and say that Mr. Former Alcoholic Radar has returned to us?
Yay!
Did you chase your mom and sister out?
No, my sister's still here. She just came back from Montreal.
So you're with us instead of hanging out with your sister.
Yeah, well, my mom was here too. I don't see my mom that often, but I needed news from what's going on with my dad, and yeah. Yep, he's in Montreal. Okay. He's got out of intensive care. He's got, like, I don't know how many cancers in the last 5 years, and
Jesus.
He's nothing will kill him, I guess. But
well,
he's a vegetable now.
Sorry to hear it, dude.
Can't walk. Yeah.
You took us from like a good place, your family's over, to a bad place, your dad's sick, To a good place. Oh, nothing can kill him. To oh, but he's a vegetable. You can't play with our emotions like that, my friend.
It's a roller coaster.
Well, at least I'm drinking a beer now.
Well, there you go. Now we're up again.
Check bar.
Just about to ask.
Well, you know what?
The real Budweiser.
Cheers to your father, and cheers to hopefully his good health.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Radar.
Now, nobody asked the important question about whether or not his sister's hot.
I was going to, but then he started talking about his father, and I didn't feel it was appropriate.
Yeah, I thought it too. I'm like, is she hot and single?
She's my sister, for fuck's sakes.
That doesn't mean
I don't
That doesn't mean anything.
Dude, you go south, you go far enough south, and it won't matter.
I wasn't asking for you.
He was asking for Guy.
Exactly.
Where is Guy anyways? I thought he was off today.
I don't know. He's been fucking off. I've seen him sharing stuff on Facebook.
He's probably drunk somewhere.
Well, we were drunk on Monday.
Fuck it, I'm gonna see if he's on.
Where'd you go?
On Monday?
Yeah.
We went to Briggs bar downtown. And then we ended up at a strip club.
Ooh, titties.
I miss Ottawa. It's a good place to be.
Yeah, Briggs is a very nice pub. They got a few micros in there, macros, and I served myself about 50.
Ooh.
50.
I like 50, actually.
Mm-hmm. I get the same.
Yeah, I see that.
Uh-oh. The cell phone's doing the foghorn.
Does that mean it's horny?
More tickets selling?
More tickets selling, yes. We started pre-sales for the 2017 Albino Rhino Beer Festival today.
Oh, we're good.
Are you doing that November thing?
I still don't know if I'm doing Pints for Prostates this year or not. I'm having trouble finding a venue that isn't going to cost me an arm and a leg because I don't want to do it, and it's pissing off Jason and them. But I don't want to do it in Ridgeway this year. Not the big festival itself, but the Pints for Prostates, because I think the reason Pints for Prostates failed was it was in Ridgeway. And people don't mind going to Ridgeway in the good months, but in November, nobody wants to go to Ridgeway. Yeah, people that live in Ridgeway don't want to go to Ridgeway in November.
Well, that's the thing is, I imagine a lot of your ticket sales are people from Ridgeway who are like, oh, well, it's a nice day in May. Oh, there's a beer festival in the middle of town? Hell yeah, let's go.
Sweet.
KW is pretty close.
KW.
What's KW?
Can you do it in Toronto? That'd be really
Yeah.
convenient for me.
I'm looking for a place in either St. Catharines or Niagara Falls that doesn't want to charge me an arm and a leg and wants to work with me on the price. Mostly because we can put the donation in their name too, so it's a write-off for them. But yeah, so far no go. One place wanted me to pay them $1,000 to be there, and I'm like, well, that's going to be like my whole donation, so no. Yeah.
Well, if you do it this year, I may actually have a chance of being able to attend since I don't work weekends anymore. Okay.
Because that's an incentive.
That's right. He wants to throw this beer fest just so he can get a little bit more Greg in his life.
I like that you don't have lights on your balcony.
No, I have one. I have one light on my balcony. It's just not very good.
We went out to see Independence Day 2 last night at the drive-in.
Oh, yeah.
Don't tell me what happens.
I won't tell you what happens, but I'll tell you that it wasn't a great movie.
Oh, shit.
Wait, does Jeff Goldblum say no, 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 no?
It just wasn't a great movie, especially when you waited 20 years for it. It wasn't a great movie.
Yeah. Was it okay at least?
Yes, it was okay.
The only reason you
Alright.
waited 20 years is because you didn't think the sequel was actually coming.
Nobody knew there was a sequel coming until
Exactly.
last year.
Well, that was one of those movies where I haven't read anything about it, so I don't know what the plot is or anything. But it just seems to me the first movie was pretty well wrapped up. Like they pretty much indicate, hey, we killed this entire alien race because they have their mothership and this is their whole race, and we blew it up. So I'm sure they came up with a reason why there's more of them, but it seemed to me like it was an unnecessary sequel.
It was a money grubbing sequel, is what it was, and people went out for it.
I have a
I was
question.
one of them.
I have a question that won't give anything away from the movie. Is Canada in the movie at all?
No.
Figure. The first one, they're showing every single country except for Canada.
Yeah, even those fucking Africans took out one of the spacecrafts with their spears, and yet Canada wasn't there.
No CN Tower. No Parliament building.
It's because we had the Avro arrows. Nobody came in near us.
Hmm.
We just sent a bunch of polar bears onto their ships. They took care of everything.
Yep.
Polar bears, first the beavers, they chewed holes into the ship, then the polar bears went in and took care of those little aliens.
The second movie at the drive-in last night would have been The Purge 3, and we talked for about 10 minutes while the credits were rolling for Independence Day 2, going, do we want to stay for Purge 3? Do we really want to stay? And then we decided not to because we only paid $12 to get in anyway because it was cheap night. So we're like, yeah, fuck it, let's just
Purge
go.
3 too?
No, we didn't watch The Purge 3. We just left. We watched Independence Day 2.
Did you fuck
said
at
the
the drive-in?
Yes, the drive-in.
Now, do your kids go to that?
We took the kids last week to it to see Finding Dory.
Okay. And how does a 1 hour and go with the kid? Like, does at like their age? I don't know how old your kids are, but do they actually last the whole movie?
Yeah, especially if it's a movie they like.
Really?
They especially liked it at the drive-in because, you know, my son was sitting outside the van with me. My daughter was snuggled up inside the van with the wife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My oldest is 2, so he's too early for that. But there is a drive-in close by.
I posted the
about a half an hour
washroom
away.
review. I posted the washroom review of the Canview drive-in today.
Okay. No, I didn't see that yet.
It's not a nice washroom. It was a failing washroom. The only way it passes.
Ooh, less than 5.
Yeah, the only reason it passes at all, like the only thing that's good about it, is it has a toilet for you to piss in.
Yeah,
the Canview drive-in, a lot of the prices are still the same prices as back in like the 80s and 90s, and when the drive-in starts, it's the exact same fucking startup screen that they had in the 60s.
Yeah, that was like the drive-in we used to go to when we had a cottage up in sort of the Midland area, and I don't think it exists anymore, but they'd have like commercials for like, let's all go to the lobby, let's all go to the lobby.
That type of
And
stuff.
they'd advertise Tab, which doesn't exist anymore, but they'd still advertise it.
Well, no, this one was like, it's time to have a gay old time at the drive-in. Go get a scrumptious snack in our lobby.
Back when the word gay meant happiness.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you, did you not bring the kids this time so you guys can fuck during Independence Day 2?
We didn't bring the kids this time because they're at the grandparents. It wasn't so that we could fuck it during Independence Day 2.
Are you sure to celebrate Independence Day you don't want to shoot some fireworks off?
We also would not have been able to even if we wanted to because it still had all the stuff in it from when we went to the drive-in with the kids. So all the camp chairs and everything were still in the back.
Hey, those can be used for creative purposes.
They can be.
Can't use the front? You've never done that before?
Not with a person right beside us on either side.
Oh.
And the amount of times, I don't get this. If you go to the drive-in, there's some drive-in etiquette, okay? There's some drive-in etiquette. Don't turn your fucking lights on and leave them on during the movie. Don't show up to the movie 45 minutes late and drive in and blind everybody. Don't, just simple things,
Did people actually do that?
Yes! There was 2 cars down that I was going to go break his lights with a fucking tire iron if they came on a third time.
If you show up late, you drive really slow with your park lights on. and if you hit something, you're just going to give them a little tap.
Also, don't fuck on the hood of your car.
Well,
That's half the fun.
also, if you're in, like, we're in a van, okay? If you get there and you show up in a van or a truck and they tell you to park near one of the yellow poles, park near a yellow fucking pole, okay? It's the only real rule there is. Park by the yellow pole. Oh, I'm in my big van. I'm going to drive into the very center in the white poles where the cars can't see, and I'm going to turn around backwards and flip my back open, leave my lights. Fuck you, you piece of shit. It's not hard. Park by the yellow fucking pole. You want to be closer? There's like 4 rows of yellow poles right at the very front because it dips down so the cars behind you can see. Pieces of shit.
I just like the drive-in. Most drive-ins in sort of the Ontario area have closed, so it's cool if there's still a few around.
Yeah, and
There's they closed the last one around here a couple of years ago.
which one was the last one there? I used to go to Britannia all the time.
I think that was the one.
That one had such bigger screens than this one too, and it was so much nicer because there was less. This one is out in the middle of Font Hill, and there's woods all around it, so there's so many mosquitoes. It's not funny. Bug spray is something we need to bring next time we go, for sure.
Well, that was the thing, is like around Toronto, there used to be about 6 or 7 drive-ins, and I would say around like early 2000s, they just all closed, like just almost all at once within a month or so. Just all closed at once, and then they just didn't exist anymore. Like there's still some you go further out into cottage country. I don't know if the one we used to go to in cottage country still exists, because I don't go out there all that often, but I mean, that one was actually really cool because that one was complete. Like you had to go out into the almost into the woods a little bit to get to it, and it was completely surrounded by trees. So if you're ever watching, I mean, they didn't really play too many hardcore horror movies, but if you ever were watching a movie that's even a little bit kind of spooky, it added a lot of atmosphere to it. So it was quite cool. And actually, when we actually watched Apollo 13 way back in the day, it was actually right when a meteor shower was happening. So you can look on screen, the shit's happening in space. You look up, and there's shit falling down to the earth. It was a pretty cool experience.
Oh no, there's one in Gatineau. Templeton and Gatineau is still open.
Drive-ins are. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, there's a drive-in still open in about half an hour for me, but I've never been there.
Drive-ins are such a great experience. They're such a great experience. They're a great time. It's just amazing to enjoy a movie in the comfort of your own car. It's great to actually buy concessions at a concession stand that don't make you feel like you're being raped, because they have to have their concessions cheaper because you can just sneak shit in your car anyway. So
Yeah.
they need to sell it cheap. Like it cost us $12 to get in for the movies, and then we got we got 2 large drinks, 3 bags of candy, 2 chocolate bars, and a popcorn. And a large nachos. It was $22 for all of that.
Oh, that's
It's
awesome.
not bad.
Like,
Well, geez,
that's
it's
great.
pretty good. I mean, what? A regular popcorn and regular Coke cost me $12 the other day.
Well, that's just it. Like, you go to a movie theater and they're like, yeah, you can't sneak shit into here. We're going to charge you whatever you want. You go to the drive-in and they're like, well, they can sneak in whatever the fuck. Like, I was drinking a beer at the end of the movie. So they have their concession stands prices cheaper, and it's a great experience that way too. That you're actually going to something and you're getting more. You're getting more for less money. Like when we took the kids to Finding Dory, we got 2 movies, all 4 of us in, plus all of our snacks for less money than it would have cost for 2 of us to get into the movie and buy a popcorn.
How was Finding Dory, anyways?
Yeah, it was okay.
It was okay.
Yeah.
I like the first one.
Yeah, the first one was really good.
I heard it was, yeah, a friend of my work told me it was really good.
Finding Nemo was pretty good. It was original.
Nemo was a great movie, and apparently from what I hear is Finding Dory is really good too, but it's just very similar to Finding Nemo.
Yeah, extremely similar.
Which is alright, I mean...
It's another one that was, what, like 15 years apart?
But you know what?
Finding Nemo?
Yeah.
No, Finding Nemo was 2006, 2007.
Yeah, it's about 10 years apart.
Yeah.
But you know what? I mean, that's okay. That's enough time to kind of
you know, you're over watching Nemo. Like, you've probably seen Finding Nemo. You probably haven't seen it for a while. You're over it. It's okay. I think it's another movie.
I've seen it a lot of times recently.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. 2003, almost 12 years, 13 years. I didn't think that was that old.
My God, Chad's becoming more right by the second. This is scary.
I know. You guys should just start bowing now.
Willem Dafoe has a voice in Finding Nemo. Who the fuck did he do?
I forget what the name of the movie is, but there's a movie where you can see William Dafoe's cock.
Yeah, it's called fuck. It's with the girl there from well, I don't know her name, but I don't know. I saw that movie.
Yeah, and even though it's not real, because they obviously use a dummy for this scene, there's actually a scene where they take a pair of scissors and cut off the lady's clitoris, and it's gross.
Yep.
But it's not real, so it's okay, I guess. But yeah.
Damn it! What was the name of that movie?
It's a common name. I like
Nymphomaniac.
No, it's not Nymphomaniac. That's the one with the guy from Transformers.
Think so?
No, it's a weird movie though, because it's like they're like under a curse or something.
Antichrist. That was the name of the movie.
I think that's the one. Yeah.
The Antichrist. Yeah, no, I never remember.
Yeah, Nymphomaniac is the one with Shia LaBeouf where he bangs that girl and doesn't last very long while banging.
Minuteman.
Trying one of these Granville Island India Session ales.
Oh, I tried to say, is that a twin something? What's it called?
Two Tides?
Two Tides, that's it. I tried to sample that. That wasn't bad.
Actually, don't really love it, to tell you the truth. Kind of reminds me of that. Do you remember that soap gum you used to get at Halloween?
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love that. You mean the purple shit? I used to love that stuff.
Yeah, well, you get Two Tides, it has that in the background.
I was weird. Most people didn't like that stuff. I love that shit. I was like, yes, I'll take that stuff.
What was that stuff called?
I don't even remember.
Was that the baseball gum or something?
No, it
was purple. It came in like little rectangles. I don't even remember actually buying. I don't actually remember even buying it like in proper packs. I used to buy it from those 25-cent machines.
Thrills.
Thrills?
Yes, Thrills. You're right, Thrills.
The only time I ever had it was at Halloween, and it would come in those little, like, it was a 2-popper, or not even a popper, it was like the little cardboard, a little pack of 2, I believe, purple gum. And it was gross, but I'd still eat like 8 of them at once. Huge mouthful of soap gum.
Yeah.
Because it was soap gum, you have to eat it.
Why not?
And of course, just chew all of them and swallow it because you're not supposed to.
There's a lot of things you're not supposed to swallow that you still do.
True. It started with soap gum, and then it's gateway drugs.
I am trying desperately to find a ride to Kitchener Waterloo next Thursday to go to a brew and chew at the Lancaster Smokehouse.
Oh, the leg? Cool.
Sorry, my friend. I work Monday to Friday like an adult nowadays. Otherwise, maybe it was possible.
My entourage gets in for free, but I can't find anyone to go with me.
I know some of your offers are tempting. It's like, hey, can you drive me to this place? You get in for free and you drink for free. I'm like, fuck, if I was off work, I'd totally come do that.
But then you're doing the driving and you can't drink.
No,
you can drink a lot at the beginning and then sober up. I'm going to drink the porter from Black Swan next.
Plus, I'm pretty sure the whole don't drink and drive thing is a suggestion.
I'm drinking a Gahan Island Red now.
I'm having a Great Lakes Red Leaf Lager. Why am I having this? Because I bought a whole bunch of them from my friend who came over the other day who doesn't like craft beer and just wants something simple. And he didn't drink very many of them, so now I got to drink them all.
I think I actually like the Red Leaf Lager you sent me, Chad.
Oh, it's not a bad beer. It's just...
It's an okay beer. Now, granted, it's not as good as Millennium Buzz.
Fuck, it's so much better than Millennium Buzz.
It's not better. Millennium Buzz is a fantastic beer.
My dick is better than Millennium Buzz.
Well, then your dick must taste fantastic because Millennium Buzz is also fantastic.
In other words, he wants to taste
tells me.
it. Aw.
Yeah. Can you send me a 3-ounce sample of your dick, please?
See, we have 6 viewers. The
Dick
reason
nails.
this has gone to this point is you guys aren't talking to us. There's not much to talk about beer-wise in the last 2 weeks.
Hasn't anybody said anything in the
Not
YouTube
since the Evergreen.
Did you mention any of the New Brunswick beer news that happened last week?
Which New Brunswick beer news?
Well, we got a new brewery opened up in Fredericton called Greystone. It just opened up on Canada Day,
Oh yeah.
and
Any good?
I haven't had a chance to try it yet. They just opened up.
Oh,
in Fredericton,
and
so-
Rod doesn't work at that brew pub anymore. He's now at Propeller.
he's at Propeller.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably a better spot for him. Yeah, I mean, if they're inclined to get rid of him, what happened? Why
don't
is he
know.
not there anymore?
But he's one of the head brewers at Propeller now.
Nice. I'm sure Propeller is probably going to turn around then.
There's a couple of comments from Dullahan Brewing.
Yeah, he said he's Irish, so he is the better Greg.
Oh, okay, yeah, you did say that.
No, I'm Polish, so I'm clearly the better Greg. We're better at beating our wives after we get drunk.
And Cam Haynes.
The other news, New Brunswick beer news, is that Gahan is opening up another restaurant in Moncton.
Yeah.
Another brew pub. And I looked at where they're going to build it. They're building it literally right around the corner from Pump House's brewery. So
Ooh,
that's like literally on the street, the same, like the corner of the street it's on.
competition.
Great for the consumer. I mean, that's going to make it a great spot to do a beer crawl, but it's like fighting where you're just throwing the gauntlet down. You're just like, you're moving next door.
Well, I mean, Ontario has a lot of cities and towns where there are breweries literally right near them. I mean, look at Stonehammer and Wellington. Look at Block 3 in Innocente. Look at GLB and Black Oak. Like, there are so many
cool
places.
beer.
Oh, yes, and Cool Beer. We can't forget Cool Beer. Who would want to forget Cool Beer? I mean, whoever would want to forget Cool Beer? I would never want to forget Cool Beer.
I haven't been down there since it opened, but I think Gahan's brew house in Halifax is near where Garrison is. Like a short walk from.
Yeah, sure.
Cool Beer, Millennium Buzz gets a 2.5 in this craft beer guide book.
Clearly is a 2.5 out of 2.5 because it's that good.
That's just being nice. It shouldn't even get a 2.5.
A North American amber lager brewed with BC hemp, which brings forth a unique and subtle earthy character along with the bready malt notes.
But
2.5.
hemp should bring a nutty character, not an earthy character. Just so everybody knows.
I'm pretty sure in the Ontario Beer Awards, I think it was last year, won a gold medal, and we all know that those awards are foolproof. There is nothing wrong with those awards. Everything they say is 100% legit. Therefore,
Yes, that was the
Millennium
same.
Buzz
That
is
was
the
the same
best.
year that Trafalgar won New Brewery of the Year.
I think it was, yes. And I think Molson Export won like Pilsner of the Year or something. Or the Black Blue maybe won, I don't remember. But
I still think
it was
that
something weird.
the only reason the guys at Cameron's like me is when I was there and I made the comment that Labatt 50 won Cream Ale of the Year. What was it up against? A toaster? And I think that's the only reason they ended up liking me. Because I actually said that on camera with both Jason, their brewmaster, and Bill, their owner, and neither of them could look at the camera straight face. They both started laughing. And Jason does not break his "I am a stoic man" facade very often.
You're talking about Jay Terrio?
No, not Jay Terrio.
Because he doesn't break his "I'm not a racist, but I kind of am a racist" persona.
Breaking out the hat for old times.
Do you got the Louisiana hat? Come on down to Louisiana.
And I love Jay. Don't be offended, Jay, if you're watching, but come on, let's be honest.
I don't think Jay watches anymore. You notice I'm wearing the Coors Light hat?
Ugh.
Ooh.
I've had people before. Why are you wearing the macro hat?
Because it came free.
Because the macro company gave it to me for free, and I wear free hats. Hats cost money. Hats are expensive. Man, I was actually talking to this about. I was actually talking to the punter about this. When I make stuff for my staff for the beer festival, when I make staff stuff, I get it for cost. So I know what a shirt actually costs. And when I'm making it for selling, I get it for the normal price they sell it to me for, like they sell it to you for. But I made some hats for next year. I didn't make many because they're fucking expensive as fuck, even at cost. I'm like, now I know why a hat costs so much more when you go into a place to buy it. And I'm sitting there going, how can a fucking hat cost so much more than a fucking full body shirt?
Stitching, maybe, or
it's
material. I don't know.
Weird.
Or more complex material, probably.
It's just one of those things they can charge more because they know people will pay it.
I'm gonna have to give away my Albino Rhino beer shirt that I bought.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I was stupid and bought a medium.
Oh. You could always take it back for an exchange, couldn't you?
I'll just next fest I'll buy a large.
Hey, you know what? I
was holding up the large and was like, oh, that's way too big for me, and then I held up the medium. Oh yeah, that'll fit, and then I washed it. And
well, I bought larges and they were too small for me, but I lost a bit of weight. Now they fit me okay.
Yeah.
So yay me.
No, I'll just give it to a cousin. I've got a few people that'll fit into it, so it's all good.
I wear a 2XL. This is one of the new colors. This is chocolate brown. We got chocolate brown, military green, and antique orange in.
Ooh. Military
well,
green.
actually, Chad, you'll be happy to know that you are personally responsible for my safety now because I enjoy running at night.
Yes.
And I have a pink albino rhino shirt and I have a purple albino rhino shirt, and I wear them at night when I run so that drivers can see me so that they don't run me over. If I was wearing a dark color, they might run me over. So
the only reason I have those pink shirts is my wife harassed me for them.
I love my pink shirt. I love wearing it. It's great.
I like them too, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, they look cool. Oh, there's a bunch of possibly drunk girls walking by below me.
Did I just hear the brewmaster?
You know the great thing about living on a balcony on a main street is that women don't take into account that when you're looking down from a balcony, you can see right down their shirts.
Well, they probably don't think that there's going to be a creepy old man sitting on his balcony looking down all night.
Yep, they didn't anticipate me, nor did they anticipate that I got binoculars. Even though I'm only on the 5th floor, so it's not a long way down.
My grandmother lives on the 6th floor in Ottawa.
Clearly, she's one floor better than me.
Yep.
Well, technically, I do live on the 6th floor because the units in our building, the 1st floor, are actually double units, so they're 1st and 2nd floor. So technically, even though we're 5th floor, we're actually six stories high.
2-story units. Oh, there was a building I was going to move into in St. Catharines that had those.
Yeah, we got 2-story units on the 1st floor and then on the 9th floor, which is the penthouse in our building. They're 2-story units.
Oh God, he got new batteries.
Nuts.
Oh God. Now I'm horny.
You made Greg splooge in his pants.
Now we have 9 viewers now. Someone say something to us. Talk to us. We're out of beer topics. What's your favorite cheese, everybody? I asked this question to Simon, and he said the stinkier the better.
Gorgonzola.
No. Best
You like-
cheese is from where I come from,
like
where
the
my
stanky
grandparents
cheese.
come from. The fromage princesse.
Either jalapeno Havarti or Emmental.
Oh no, there is a the guys from Grills Cheese, the food vendor that comes to the festival.
You're talking about Kraft cheese?
No,
Not
it
actually
doesn't
from
matter.
Kraft, but
But the guys from Grills Cheese, they make a habanero cheese. It's fucking amazing. It's like a habanero Havarti. Oh god, is it good?
sounds a little orgasmic.
I like a good smoked Gouda too.
Smoked Gouda. Dusty Road like to smoke Gouda, baby.
Talking about Joe, where is that guy?
Yeah, we haven't had a Dusty Rhodes impression, good a Dusty Rhodes impression for a while.
I don't think he likes me anymore. I have no pigment.
So you're saying that the average Joe is racist?
Yep.
So we gotta call him racist Joe now because he doesn't like super white people.
I saw he was over at Massive Beer Reviews this past week.
Oh, cool. So it's not that he doesn't like beer anymore. I thought maybe he was like on a diet or something. And he just wasn't hanging out with Beer Dweebs United because he's avoiding beer. But now he's just
He doesn't drink
now we know
beer.
he's actually avoiding us.
He didn't drink beer on Beer Dweebs United anyway.
Yeah, he did. Not
Yeah,
often.
it was at what's that guy's name? Is it Nat? Massive Beer Review?
Yes.
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah,
Matt
yeah. He was at his place. They did a couple
Okay.
live streams and a few reviews and stuff like that. But they were having a problem with echo.
Echo.
So
Yeah.
Cam
It kind of
just
sounded like. Sorry, go ahead.
Cam just said that he is coming to visit Hamilton soon. Is there any good breweries or pubs? Now, I don't know if you mean on your way down or just in Hamilton. If you're on your way down, you pass Manantler, you pass Muddy York, you pass technically you pass Bellwoods. Excuse me. Black Oak, GLB.
You can stop by my place, have a drink if you want.
Cameron's and Muddy York is in York, Manantler's in Bowmanville, Barley Days, you pass that in Picton. I'm just assuming where you're from. I actually do have your address because you were part of the Secret Santa, so I could look it up. But I'm assuming I know exactly where you're from. Then the Toronto breweries again, Bellwoods, GLB, Indie Ale House. I'm going to go into New Brunswick and break that.
Somebody's got an echo going on.
I wonder who.
I was gonna say, whoever has that beer master,
got-
can you like just step on it, and break it?
I'm reading the review of AleSmith Speedway Stout.
What else? Hamilton
Got an
itself.
I can
Hamilton
look up
itself doesn't have much.
whistle here in this book here.
I have that book. Hamilton just basically has collective arts. And Sean and Ed. Sean and Ed in Dundas, Ontario is a great place to go. Me and Radar were there.
Yep.
So Sean and Ed in Dundas, Ontario, which is part of Hamilton, and the actual Collective Arts / Nickelbrook Brewery, which is Arts and Science, which is in the old Lakeport facility, are the two that are open right now in Hamilton. There are others opening soon. If you go past Hamilton just for like half an hour, you end up in the Niagara region. You can hit the college. You can hit Exchange. You can hit Silversmith. You can hit Osthouse. You can hit Cayman Kettle. You can hit Brimstone. There's lots in the Niagara region, but yeah, Hamilton itself doesn't have much yet. But there's like 4 more on the way right now.
Now,
Yeah,
let me tell you.
Sean is really good.
Now let me tell you something about Hamilton. There's a brew pub there. I don't know what the name of it is, but Joe does. But Joe's not here. Maybe Joe will comment if he listens to this episode. But anyway, it's a really good place. They got good craft beer, and there's a thing on the menu called fried broccoli. And you think it's gonna be healthy, and you think it's not gonna taste good. You're wrong. It is the most fucking delicious thing on the menu, and it is the most unhealthy thing on the menu. because it is literally deep fried broccoli. I suggest you get that.
You can get deep fried broccoli with cheese. It's like broccoli poppers at the Flying Saucer.
I didn't go to the Flying Saucer this year. I'm so upset.
Or you can get broccoli tempura at any of the sushi places, which is deep fried broccoli.
Oh, that's good stuff.
It is.
That's good stuff. But Flying Saucer, I mean, I was disappointed this year we didn't get to go because last year was so much fun. We got shit-faced to your place, and then you had to go to bed, so we all got kicked out, and then we went to the Flying Saucer, and that was good times.
I like the Flying Saucer.
We got the
ended
Flying
up there.
Saucer this year.
Yeah.
Went for breakfast.
Yeah, because you guys are better than us.
Yeah. Busy.
Yeah.
I'm still
Flying
trying
Saucer
to.
is pretty decent food.
I'm still trying to figure out when Guy hit the toll routes because I was looking on the maps and we should have really never touched them.
Well, it was on the way there and on the way back.
Yeah, see, he's telling me that it's my fault that it's when we were going to the different breweries. I'm like, I'm looking at the maps, man. There's no way you hit them on the brewery tours.
Did he take 407? On the way home?
That's what it seems like because his charge is the exact same price we get charged when Christy goes back to Ottawa. Because Christy won't drive through Toronto; she takes the 407.
That's probably what he did. He went up through, is it Bowmanville above Toronto, like all the way up 407? Yeah.
Chad, you know what that makes your wife? It makes her a very smart person because Toronto is fucking retarded. And the drivers in it are retarded, and most of them are entitled assholes whose parents bought them Benz. And they drive like a fucking piece of shit. So your wife is very smart to do that.
Well, yeah, she nobody that doesn't like everybody that I know in the Niagara region. If they don't have to drive to Toronto, they don't want to drive to Toronto.
Nobody wants to drive to Toronto because Toronto drivers, it's not just a stereotype, Toronto drivers are fucking assholes. And I'm coming from a point where I can be a fucking asshole when I drive too. And for me to think
You've
somebody
never
else
been
is
to
a fucking...
Montreal.
Yeah, it might be worse because French people are even worse than Torontonians.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Like the only person that ever really wanted to drive to Toronto out of everybody was Ken and Boychuk. Ken because he was in the military, so he would go to Toronto anyway quite often, and Boychuk because a lot of his work was in Toronto, so he didn't care either. But mostly everybody else, like Simon freaks out. We went to Toronto. We went to 2 breweries, me and Simon, one time in Toronto. Well, twice we've gone to Toronto, and he almost had a nervous breakdown both times. Paul gets very stabby. He rolls down his window and threatens to kill people. And you know Paul's size. So yeah.
Well, here's the thing: is I'm pretty comfortable driving in Toronto. First of all, I used to go to high school in downtown Toronto, so I drove there every day. I've always lived around Toronto, and now for my work, I actually drive around Toronto, like downtown, almost every day. So I'm pretty comfortable driving around Toronto. I still fucking hate it because people are just fucking assholes. People are just like, hey, I'm in Toronto. I'm entitled. It doesn't matter whether I'm driving a Ferrari or a fucking Honda Civic. I'm still going to be a fucking asshole about it. And I'm going to cut you off, and I'm going to drive faster than I need to at certain times. I'm going to drive slower than I need to at other times because I'm in Toronto, so fuck you.
The only problem with it is there's so many good breweries in Toronto. Like, I want to go to Muddy York, but nobody wants to go there with me. I want to go to, I want to go to Bowmanville, but nobody wants to go through Toronto with me. I want to go to Five Paddles, but nobody wants to go through Toronto with me. It's a sad thing.
Well, you know what? Bellwoods, time-wise, is about 15, 20 minutes away from my house, and I haven't been there for about 3 months because I just can't be bothered to do. I mean, granted, they haven't had that many interesting beers lately, but next time they have a batch of Wood Shark, I plan on going up there because I miss that beer. But it's just a pain in the ass to get up there, and then you always have to park illegally and just hope you don't get like a $60 parking ticket.
Yep.
And you're probably not exaggerating about $60, right?
No, I'm not. That's seriously what parking tickets cost. Like
Wow.
I actually work in Yorkville, and literally they have people that will just circle the block area. Like Yorkville is one of the most expensive areas in Toronto, and you're not supposed to park in most places, but people do because people have fucking Lamborghinis and Ferraris, and they don't fucking give a shit. They just park wherever the hell they want. So these parking people just fucking circle and circle and circle. And if you're parked literally for more than 5 minutes, they will give you a ticket. If you're sitting in your car waiting for something, they will give you a ticket while you sit in your car. It is absolutely ridiculous.
You could just take the train.
Well, I take the subway in. I don't park there because for me to park where I work would cost me over $300 a month. And $300 a month can buy a lot of shit. I can fucking buy a car for $300 a month. So I choose not to do that. But, you know, people that want to park there, if you want to park there, it's about $18 a day to park there. And that's if you can get a spot. So, and I'm somebody who, I like driving. Like, I've always liked driving. I don't really like public transit. But it's just a lot more economical than actually driving. Because, you know, you pay $300 plus for parking. Plus, of course, that's not including the cost of gas, maintenance of your car, depreciation because you're putting kilometers on it, all that shit. Like, it's just not, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But
just like the 407 alone, the 407 it's insane how expensive it is.
Yeah, my fiance used to work. Well, we live in Etobicoke, and my fiance used to work in Markham, and she used to spend over $500 a month to take the 407 to work every day, and she didn't have to pay for parking. That was just mostly 407 and gas and what gas cost her, and that's why she got another job because it just wasn't worth it for her to keep working there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 407. Like once a month, I might go to Markham. I know some people there, and that alone with a transponder might be $25 for the trip. So I can't imagine someone that like works, you know, from point A to point B and has to take the 407.
Well, that's the thing. You don't really ever have to take the 407.
It's a choice. Well, I used to go to high school in Hamilton, and I used to go from Mississauga to Hamilton almost every day. And it cost me approximately $25 a week. But the price has gone like at least 3 times, maybe even 4 times since I went to high school. Sorry, since I went to university. So yeah, now it's kind of fucking ridiculous. Like I would literally be spending $75 to $100 a week if I were still doing that route every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Rhino's right. You don't have to take it, but
you're right. I didn't have.
You also have. You might have to leave an hour earlier if you don't.
Yeah.
Very true.
Well, and the thing is, back when I went to university, because I mean we're talking like 2006, around then, the cops really didn't patrol the 407 all that much because back then it was I forget if it was a private. I think it was a privately owned highway at the time, so you did have cops on it, but they were very few and far between. So you could drive going fucking 200 the whole way, and you would not get in shit for it. Nowadays, it's owned by the government. Most people don't know that it's actually owned. The government bought it back from private investors, and now they have cops all fucking over it. Anytime there's a truck stop, slow down because guess what? There's probably going to be a speed trap there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and now that it's owned by the government, that's when you will lose out on getting your fucking license and everything if you don't pay your costs.
Yep.
My funniest traffic stop was actually on the 407. I was driving to Markham. This is, it's got to be 5-7 years back. It's been a while, but I was coming up to a big clump of traffic that were all doing about 100. And right in the middle of it was a cop. And everyone was going the exact same speed as the cop, and I thought, whatever. I'll just pass 1 kilometer an hour faster than them. and I just slowly went past the cop, and of course he flicked his lights on and pulled me over, and I'm sure that 7 or 8 other people were totally relieved when I got pulled over, and they were able to carry on their merry way, and I didn't get a ticket, so it was pretty funny because I knew even if I did get a ticket, it was going to be like $50 at the most because I was doing 2 kilometers over the speed limit. The guy just he had a smirk on his face when he pulled me over, and he let me go, so it was pretty fun.
Minimum ticket here in New Brunswick is $172.
Wow.
It's fucking stupid.
For less than 15 over, it's that much.
Yeah, exactly. Less than 15 over, it's 172. It's more if you go 25 or more.
I remember I was driving one time back to university, and I was in my mom's car, and she had a 300C Hemi, and this was right when they came out. This was like the first year Hemi they came out with, right? And the car was like 350 horsepower. So it's not that impressive nowadays, but it was pretty good back. It was pretty good back when it came out. And I'm following this guy.
150 or 350?
It was about 350 horsepower. Nowadays,
Still
nowadays
not bad.
but nowadays the Hemi engines are like 485 horsepower, whatever. But whatever. This one, the car was like brand new. They just reintroduced the Hemi engine, and this was like a first year one. And I'm following this guy in a black car, and we're already going like 160 or something. He's going a little faster than me. So me being the asshole I have to be, is I go past him. So I'm going like 200 or something. Next thing I know, he pulls behind me and fucking flicks his lights on. It's this fucking stealth cop. So he pulls me over, and he just fucking proceeds just to tell me off. He's like, oh, well, this is obviously too much car for you. You obviously need to get something slower. You're going to get your shit done. He takes my license, spends like 15 minutes looking it over, comes back and just says, I'm giving you a warning, which whatever the fuck that means. I'm giving you a warning. If you're caught again, you'll be in big trouble. I'm like, okay. And he says, you should get a slower car. I'm like, okay, I'll get a slower car, sure. And then he just fucking takes off. I'm like, well, that could have ended much worse than it did.
Nice.
Yeah, I've never gotten stopped by a cop since I can't speed, since I can't drive.
Trust me, it'll save you money. I got a lot of speeding tickets back in the day. Nowadays, I've got a nice, perfectly clean record. I pay very little on insurance, but back in the day, I used to get a lot of speeding tickets.
Yeah, before they went up really,
Have you
really high.
have you had the interview, Greg?
No, I've never gotten enough tickets to get like enough points on my record. The thing is, I would always get tickets, but it'd always be like stupid tickets. They'd always be like, oh well, you're going $140 in a 100 zone, so we'll just knock it down to 115. So I never really got a lot of points on my record. But I mean, even now I still speed a lot. I'm just a little bit more smarter about it.
Yeah, I got 2 really big ones in a row, so I had to do the interview.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest ticket I actually got was I got 169 in 100 zone, and I got it. I went to court and I got it down to 129. So it was, I think, 3 points or something like that. But it was a shitload better than it would have been. But,
yeah, 69 that's a big one. That's 4 points right there.
The thing is, I've also got caught for street racing. And the cop gave me a 20 over. He didn't actually charge me with street racing, and I still took it to court, and I got it actually dropped completely. So that was kind of lucky on my part, because that cop could have. This was back in the day before we used to take your license. Because now in Ontario, they take
50 over, you're done.
Yeah, are you in Ontario? I don't even know where you are.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I'm not fucking telling you.
Yeah, he's Kitchener.
Yeah, nowadays $150 over, they take away your license. This was before that happened, so he just gave me a ticket for 169 over, and then for 69 over the speed limit, and then then I got it dropped completely in court because the cop didn't show up. But oh no, it was that one. No, sorry, that one actually I got knocked down to 129, and another one where I actually was street racing and the cop caught us. And he ticketed us, both of us, but he only ticketed me 80 in the 60 zone. And then I took it to court, and the cop didn't show up, so I got that dropped completely.
I'm actually not sure. Kilometers, what? They don't have those in Louisiana, so.
You ticketed me for 80 in a 60 zone.
Kilometers? Was that some
Kilometers,
medieval
yes.
type of measurement that you guys use?
Listen, I mean, I've been drinking and I think you're fucking with me, so I'm just going to say fuck you.
Damn it. Sorry, man.
Did you not see the Louisiana hat?
No, where's the Louisiana hat?
I was wearing a Louisiana hat.
Listen to me. If you choose to have sex with your sister, I do not judge you on that. Because sometimes we have attractive sisters.
You can go all Lannister on this shit.
Except fucking Jamie Lannister's fucking done with that shit. He's out of there.
We did just get a comment a few minutes ago from Winter is Coming, who should actually be on this podcast.
Yeah, where's that guy?
Winter is Coming. You should get away from him.
Winter is Coming asked if anyone's read the Ontario Craft Beer Guide, and he said that he can't believe how many upstart breweries there are. He didn't hear about half of those. And just think there, Brandon, that isn't even all of them. They're already working on Volume 2, going to a bunch of places they haven't been to yet.
Oh, so this one's out of date?
It's out of date already, yeah. They're working on Volume 2 already.
Garbage.
Let me say, Brandon is a pretty cool guy. However, his girlfriend or fiance, I don't know where they're at in a relationship, she is fucking awesome. And
what was her joke about? It was something about a jizz sandwich, or someone was eating some cheese curds or something.
I think Joe had like a poutine or something, and she made a joke something about he was
about the protein inside the it was
something about it. I mean, anything that involves Joe eating semen is just hilarious. So I mean, I just want you to know that if you ever break up with your guy, you're more than welcome to hang out at our place. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm going to break up with my fiance, but there's plenty of me for everyone.
I think you're going to get the Barry Kirby soon.
Well, all I can say is that I'm more than happy to disappoint 2 women instead of 1.
It's a good thing I'm not involved. I don't disappoint.
Yes, not what your wife says.
No.
Yeah, I will say this GLB blonde lager, considering the fact it's a blonde lager and aka fucking boring, it's actually quite tasty.
I have a lot of dirty things I could say to that, but I'm not going to.
I dare you to say something dirty, but you can't think of something good.
Rhino, have you tried this yet?
What is that? I'm not in your window yet.
Last Barrels from what?
No, that's down here now. What's the ABV on that?
45.
45. I had to find one of my Glencairn glasses because I want to drink it in that, and
this is another beer by Ewart. This is Weiser's Crown Royal Rye.
It's not by Ewart. He makes fun of me every time I drink that.
No, Ewart make this. Has anyone had the Crown Royal Rye?
Yeah,
No, I have not
had it.
I will say it is very good. Like, I mean, in terms of the other ryes that are like sort of available.
The best rye in the world?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't had every rye, so.
Well, here's the thing, right? I look at ryes that are similar price, right? You got Canadian Club Rye, which is about a little bit cheaper. I would say this is better. You got Lot 40 Rye, which is about $40 a bottle. This is about, I think, $28 a bottle. So you're looking at $12 bottle difference.
Holy shit! You guys get that for $28? It's $35 here.
Yeah, 28. This one I bought for $34, but this was a duty-free bottle. It's a liter bottle.
Jeez.
I would say, is Lot 40 better? Without tasting them side by side, I don't know. But going by memory, I think Lot 40 is probably a little bit better. But Probably not. No, not for the $12. I think for bang for buck, I think this is probably the rye to get.
I was going to ask you, Rhino, will you actually do a review on that?
Yes, I will.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't know if you did.
I do booze reviews. I just don't do them as often because I can only drink like 1 or 2 in a night.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't fully care if I get tipsy by the end of the review, but I want to be sober enough to know exactly what I'm wanting to say.
Mm-hmm.
and for that reason, I can't do a lot of boozes. I have my whole bar, and there's a bunch of boozes on the bar still I have to review, but I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, no, it would be cool to see what you think of it. I'm not a connoisseur, so I don't really know.
I really do appreciate.
I really liked it.
I really do appreciate the little sample of it too, because I can't get it down here. So.
Yeah, when you were first told me about it and said it was coming around Father's Day, I looked right before Father's Day, and there was 0 in our area. So I told him, yeah, I can't get it, and he said, well, check again because there's going to be more coming. And that, like, the next day I checked, and there was a lot. There was like 7 or 8 bottles in 2 different stores in Cambridge, and then the same in Kitchener, so or in Waterloo.
So I actually went out. I'm right now trying to find the new Brewmaster pack from Cameron's, because there's 2 beers in that I haven't had before. But I went out and I found the mixed pack from Collective Arts, and Collective Arts mixed pack had the Hef in it, the Goza, and their Papaya Saison. And I was excited. I'm like, yeah, 2 of each beer. I can send 1 of each away. I can review some beers. This is awesome. I bought the mixed pack. I get it home. I open up the case, and there's 4 Gozas and 2 Papayas in it. And I'm like, and I post a picture on Collective Arts webpage, on their Facebook page, and I'm like, so I get to the LCBO, find out there's 2 cases of your mixed pack at my LCBO, and I get really excited. I'm like, yeah, 3 beers to review. Imagine my despair when I open it up and see this, and I post the picture. And I actually had Erica and Collective Arts harassing me about where I lived and all that. So I responded to Erica first, because she teaches at Niagara College once a week. And then I responded to the Collective Arts thing, and I'm like, I don't know who runs your social media, but Erica's been asking me this as well, and I already answered her, so I don't know if I need to answer you as well. And I get from Collective Arts, oh, this is Erica too. And I'm like, so Erica's going to be at the house on Friday for a few minutes.
Oh, yeah, you're going to get some of that Erica action going?
Wow.
No, she's with Spinny.
Who the fuck is Spinny?
So, yeah.
The brewer at Sawdust City.
Greg, you said you had a 1-liter bottle of this?
I do. It's a 1 liter.
It came in a bigger bottle.
Well, that's what you get when you go to duty free.
Yeah, it does if you buy it duty free. Hold on, does it say 1 liter anywhere?
Yeah, I paid like $35 for this around Christmas time, and it's like you can see I'm almost out. I got maybe a gram left.
No, I paid $34 for this liter, but duty free prices are fucking awesome if you can get to a duty free shop. And luckily, my sister-in-law lives in Detroit, so both us and my parents-in-law are going to like the U.S. quite often, so duty free stuff is quite available to us. It doesn't actually say 1 liter on it anywhere, so basically I could be lying to you, but it's 1 liter.
Look around the back, right around here. Because mine says 750 mil.
Oh yeah, there it does. If you look really closely, hold on.
Oh yeah, I see it.
You can see 1 liter right there.
That's a pretty big bottle. That's a pretty good deal.
But even at 750, I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, $28. Oh, hang on, my girlfriend's signaling to me. I'll be right back.
Oh, sure.
Oh, maybe she just did her nails again.
She may have. We'll see.
Or she wants to touch her penis.
Nobody wants to touch his penis.
Well, she wouldn't be his fiance otherwise. But yeah.
Excuse me.
I like Northern Harvest Rye, but I gotta say, drinking this, especially after I've had a couple of beers, the Liquorman's from the Trailer Park Boys whiskey isn't bad.
Nice.
Nice. Like, it's definitely a rye, but it's got a nice caramel taste to it.
What happened?
I farted.
Smelly.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna be up in 6.5 hours.
You know what I don't have to do? Get up with the kids in the morning.
It's because it's your day off, isn't it?
No, because the kids are at the in-laws. They've been there since Sunday.
Nice.
Now, I meant to do a whole bunch of
Somebody
Let's
else's
Plays and
problem.
stuff all week. I meant to do a whole bunch of video gaming this week and cleaning, and I've done nothing. I've slept. I've slept till like 3 in the afternoon every day.
Well, you know what you could do? Get shit-faced drunk.
Well, I'm on my second growler and 4th beer, so
Yeah, but you still don't sound drunk.
that's because I'm not.
Well, keep drinking.
Well,
You get my point here.
I'm seeing the eye movements from Jamie there that's saying, "Do not get shit-faced drunk, idiot."
No,
You're being counterproductive.
no, do it.
And Radar is being like all Big Bird over there.
Hmm?
No, my ab movement was not saying that.
I think I have to go upstairs and poo.
You.
And I'm actually meaning poo because I just farted and I think I'm gonna shit myself.
You farted and don't think it was a fart.
I think it might have been a shark. Yeah, I'll be right
It's
back.
not actually.
My
While-
eyes
while
did
I'm
not
gone-
say that.
While I'm gone, Jamie's in charge.
No, Vince.
What about
What?
seniority?
I know.
Fuck, I deserve a raise.
Well, I probably am as old as.
I've been around here for 4 or 5 fucking years, and this is the respect I get.
Yeah, but you're just a young buck compared to me.
Yeah,
Almost 40.
Holy
You're almost
shit.
40?
What are you, 39?
I am.
Wow, I'm 36.
39 and a lot.
How old are you, Radar?
33, and I got more gray hair than you almost.
You're
Hey,
27.
you do have more gray hair than me. Wow. I thought I had a lot of gray hair for my age, man.
I get that from my mom. She was fully gray by the time she was 25.
Yeah, I got my gray hair from my mom as well. Is she Irish or anything?
Nope. Quebec.
No? Quebec?
Full Quebec, Quebec.
Yeah, my gray hair comes from my Irish side. But my grandmother's father is from Quebec.
No, yeah.
Or my grandmother. My mother's father's from Quebec. A Thibodeau. I just don't speak the mother tongue. I should, though. I gotta learn it. I know input.
What's that? You got to tongue someone?
No, I'm not gonna tongue anyone.
With someone with gray hair?
I'm drinking at the Liquorman's old dirty Canadian whiskey.
Ooh, how is that?
Yeah.
That's
Not
not coming
bad.
to Ontario, from what their website shows.
Really? Really? I thought they were trying to make.
Well,
It's
first I heard of it
in
was-
Manitoba and Alberta now.
Yeah, the last,
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say the first I heard of it was you were talking about it on BTU a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, and I checked their website and it was basically everywhere around Ontario get it, but not in Ontario. So
I just actually picked up a bottle of it to send to Guy.
yeah,
But yeah, it's not in Ontario yet. It's not in Quebec yet, but it just showed up in New Brunswick like 3 weeks ago.
what is it? Just middle of the road, good stuff, or
Actually, I actually really like it. Maybe it's just because I've had too much to drink tonight. But like when you take the alcohol burn out of the equation, it's got this nice caramel, brown sugar kind of, peppery rye kind of note.
mind if I ask what a bottle is worth?
$32, $32.99.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's actually not a bad deal. It'll probably be a pretty damn good mixer.
Yeah, I hope it does come to Ontario because my brother's a huge Trailer Park Boys fan, and his
Oh, yeah.
birthday's coming up. Like that would be a perfect gift. I'd get him a bottle of that for sure.
When did
Jesus!
you trip over the cat again?
The fuck was that?
Who
Hello,
was
guys.
that?
What's going on?
It must be pretty bad when your foot's getting more pussy than your.
You know, it's funny. It's funny because speaking of prices, I was reading the newspaper. It was one of those free newspapers they give away on the subway, and apparently the Brazilian hookers are really upset because apparently there's not enough business going on
about
in
Rio?
Brazil. For the Rio, they thought they'd get lots of business, but it's very slow. So they're like having this big thing where literally they have a hooker holding up a sign saying, "Hey, come to Rio. We've got lots of hookers. We've got small girls, big girls, old girls, young girls. Where the hell you want?" and their prices are crazy. Like they're like, if you want sex, the price is like $16. If you want two girls, you want to have a threesome, the price is like $30. I'm like, holy fuck! I gotta take a trip to Brazil because this is just fantastic. I mean, granted, you probably get an STD, but you know, most of that can be.
You get a
cured with
Brazilian
antibiotics.
STD, and that's just cool.
Yeah.
It's like having one of those stickers in your luggage.
What you were
You get
just
a
saying
fuck-
there.
you get-
What
you
you were
get a
just
fucking
saying there.
Zika
Google
virus.
Cheech Moran titty twister.
I choose
Cheech
not to
Moran.
because I don't trust you.
He chooses violence.
It's
All
from
right,
a
I'll
movie
do it.
where he's.
All right, I'll do it.
We got small girls. We got little girls. We got big girls.
No, that's it's pussy.
That's from Dusk Till Dawn.
That's the
Yeah.
one. We got
It's
yellow
Cheech-
pussy, brown pussy.
Cheech Moran is the guy doing it.
Yeah,
And Titty Twister is the name of the
Cheech
bar that
Chong.
they're going to.
that was an awesome movie.
Because Cheech always had a better movie career than Tommy Chong.
Of course.
Wait, which
I don't
was the
know,
guy? Which was the guy in that '70s? So was that Cheech or Chong?
That was Chong.
Chong.
Mm.
Because he went to jail because he was it jail? Like, did he actually do jail time? He had a business where he was selling pipes and bongs and I don't know paraphernalia, and 70 Show picked him up because of that.
He was funny on that show.
So you say your brother's birthday's coming up. When's it coming up? Like,
I hope you're not talking. I hope you're not talking to me because I don't have a brother.
talking to Jamie.
Just start of August.
Okay. No, I was kind of curious. Though, like, if you wanted me to, I could probably pick up a bottle of Liquorman's for you and send it over.
Oh shit!
Oh, do a little mail or whatever.
Yeah, do a sort of beer mail, I guess.
Ooh.
Well,
Yeah. Well, let
This-
me take a look this week and see if I can get it.
yeah.
If not, then maybe we can talk, and I can find you some stuff around here that you'd be into, and do a little trade.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nick is basically saying he'd like some sexual favors for it.
Mm-hmm.
A little too remote for that. But imagine you got something up in your area you could send down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That
for sure. There's actually a moonshine place that I'm looking at checking out sometime.
Cool.
At a little town close by. So. But,
Is it in
I'll
Guelph?
check it out. No, Elmira, Ontario.
Okay, because Nick was in Dixon's in Guelph last year.
Well, oh yeah, right up when we saw Royal City and Wellington.
Yep, and Stonehammer.
Dixon's? Is this a cider joke?
Dixon's.
No, Dixon's is a
Dixon cider.
It's a distillery.
Thank you, Nick.
It's a distillery.
I prefer my Dixon cider.
Yeah. Who doesn't like their dick?
Who doesn't?
On a cold winter night, she loves a little Dixon cider.
Little
You're all
Dixon
idiots.
cider by the fire.
You're all idiots, and people say I'm immature.
Sorry, I'm gonna mute my microphone for a sec while I.
Wait a minute. I'm supposed to be the mature one here.
Gonna mute his microphone while he has a little Dixon cider.
Triscuits.
What flavor?
Oh,
Is that olive oil and
Look-
is that the cracked
look-
pepper and olive oil?
look. Here's the thing. When it comes to Triscuits,
I love that one. That's my
When it comes
Is
favorite.
it French?
When it comes to Triscuits, there's the
Or-
rosemary.
Yeah.
The rosemary flavor, and there's all the wrong flavors.
See, I'm not a huge fan of the rosemary one, but I love the cracked pepper and olive oil. It's got almost
Oh,
like a slight hint of
Ro-
vinegar or something.
Rosemary is fucking awesome. I gotta have some
That stuff's-
rosemary now.
You just want some rosemary, and I don't mean the spice.
I love fucking rosemary, spice or not. You put some lamb and some rosemary on it. Oh my god.
You like sticking your lamb.
I don't like fucking rosemary. Every rosemary I know is like 70 years old.
Well, if you're talking about fucking old lady, sure, but I'm talking about the spice rosemary. Spice
Like
rosemary is delicious.
sticking your dick in lady parts.
Rosemary is. I make a nice sweet potato with rosemary.
Look, rosemary is
potato
like a super
fries.
spice. Like you have regular spices, and rosemary is a super spice because it is
Oh,
better than all the
motherfucker!
other spices. I think somebody just bit on Chad's cock, probably his wife.
No, my 8-string Hagstrom attacked me.
That's not what I expected, to be honest.
It just slipped
Do you,
out of the spot.
Do you play bass, Chet?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Likes to play with his bass. Can you guess what that noise is?
At my guitar right here.
Nice.
Guitar.
You say you're a keytar?
Yeah.
Guitar.
Guitar.
Keytar?
I used to play
Is that
guitar.
like a
and
piano
then,
guitar?
It was when I was working at McDonald's. I cut my fingertip off down to about here. So this is all scar tissue now. So whenever I'd actually hit the small strings on the guitar, I would actually get a sharp pain to my elbow. That's when I started playing bass.
Well, cutting a finger off worked for Tony Ione, so worked for you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it put me into the bass playing. I used to have an albino bass. It was all white with pink strings. I sold that.
Nice.
I gave away my very first bass. I had a Lotus as my very first bass. I gave that away to a friend of mine who wanted to get into bass playing. I ended up getting rid of all but 2 of my basses. I have a 4-string PV just for shits and giggles. When I play around, I let my son play with that one.
Nice. I used to have a PV guitar back in the day.
Yeah, and then I have my 8-string Hagstrom. Guitars, I had a Fender, just a regular red Fender Stratocaster. I also had what the fuck was the name of that one? It was a no-name Strat. It was the exact same shape and everything, but it was a no-name version. A Baron. It was a Baron Stratocaster. I also had a Washburn, a Highburn, and 2 Les Pauls, and they were old Les Pauls. The Washburn was great though because it had the floating bridge, so when you played the whammy bar, the strings basically fell off the neck.
Awesome.
I think my brother-in-law had a Washburn.
Oh, those are nice guitars, yeah.
Yeah, those are really nice.
I also I had a white piece of shit that wasn't a piece of shit. It was a piece of shit because I never fixed it. But I bought it from a guy that I went to school with, and he was big into drugs, and he sold it for like $50 and it was worth like $500. So I bought it from him in a second, and then he went and spent it on drugs. But it was I can't even remember what it fucking was because I gave it away because I didn't care to fix it. But it had a skinny neck, so my hands didn't work on it anyway because I had fucking giant hands. But yeah, I can't even remember what that was. I'll have to go through old pictures and see if I can see the fucking tag on the neck.
Fucking tag on my cock.
You. On that note, I gotta go to bed. So
Nick needs to go to bed.
yeah, I gotta be
All
up.
right,
at
Nick,
7.
you go to bed.
It's like almost midnight, so I gotta get to bed. I'm real drunk.
What the hell is? It's only 10:41. Are you on a different time zone?
No, wait, I'm in a different time zone. It's 11:41 here, but I've been drinking Liquormans and I'm getting pretty saucy right now.
Well, you know what? You're not drunk enough to show us your cock yet.
Well, I'm not. I wouldn't show you my fucking cock anyway.
Seeing fucking Sam Squanches over there.
Oh my God, Ricky! It's a Sam Squanch.
It's fucked.
Jesus. Decent.
He hasn't been beating off lately. You notice he doesn't have his fucking wrist on.
Well,
I wouldn't tell you about it.
You wouldn't have to tell me about it. I'd see your fucking wrist splint on again.
I don't have my wrist on either, but trust me, guys, I've been beating off a lot lately.
Do a Google search for Sailor Moon porn.
I'll tell you a great story, but I'll wait till we're offline.
Well, I'm not going to see it. I'll talk to you folks next week.
Bye,
See you later.
Later.
Goodbye, Mr. Nick.
Word.
So, like I said, I am trying to find a ride up to Kitchener-Waterloo next week. Hopefully that happens. If it does, maybe we can get Jamie to come with us.
Yeah, sure. If it wasn't
Yeah.
for kids, I'd come and pick you up, but that's just not happening.
Yeah, I know the kids thing, as most of you guys know, but nobody else does.
Actually, only 50% of us know because I don't have kids. I don't think.
I was going.
Mr.
That's
Radar
not what
has
I was
kids.
going to. I was going to say, as most of you guys know, but nobody else knows, I do have a third on the way, and yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do then. I'm worried. I'm worried.
Are you happy about this, Mr. Chad?
No, I am not.
Well,
That's a
I'm
yes,
just
but no.
I'm just gonna say there's options such as perhaps taking her for some kickboxing lessons at the top of the staircase. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So as I was talking about earlier, version 2 of the Ontario Craft Beer Guide is being worked on right now, and neither Robin nor Jordan drive, and they're both trying to find a way out to Kenora, Ontario, that would be on the cheap and easy to do. And I'm like, I'd go with you guys, but my vacation time's about to be over. And they're like,
How the fuck did they do this book if they don't drive?
They trains and buses and.
Wow.
Like, it's worthless, man. Get a license. If you can see, this is the thing, right? I understand. We live in Toronto. We can take public transportation everywhere we really need to go. But if you can see in this world and you're doing a job that actually means you have to travel, go out and get a fucking license. Like, I would have a license if I wasn't fucking legally blind. Even if I had my wife to drive me places, why wouldn't I have a license? Why wouldn't we have the ability for both of us to drive?
I'm just thinking about like the breweries around here that they tend to visit to, and all of those would be a pain in the ass to get to because there's no public transportation anywhere near any of them, other than
you would think
Tenting there might be a bus stop very close to them, but other than that,
you would think that their publishers would want them to have a license too, because they're not going to want to fucking reimburse taxi cabs and everything else everywhere.
Cabs for sure.
Because that's just the thing, right? They would take the bus to Kitchener, and then they'd have to cab or public transit all over Kitchener, and then they'd have to spend the night there because they spent all day trying to get to these places. Like, you'd think they just want them to have a car so they can get to each place in 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they weren't driving, if they had their own driver, but it's in their car, that's another thing too. I mean, a lot of times I say, hey, can somebody drive me? We can use my van. Like, I have the vehicle, I just can't fucking drive, you know? Like,
yeah.
But,
And it would be one thing if they're like sampling a lot of beers at once, but for the most part, each brewery there's only like 3 or 4 beers that they have a rating for, so it's not like they're drinking a lot.
But yeah, I had mentioned, hey, we could have went if you guys had talked to me earlier, because I have the whole week off with no kids. We could have gone. We could have gotten my van. We could have driven up. It would have been great. And Robin's response was the best one, which was, I would have totally been down for a road trip with the Albino Rhino. That's the Albino Rhino, myself, and Jordan. That's like a comedy movie waiting to happen.
It would have totally been a sex comedy.
No.
Yeah, and then it would be like The Hangover, where it's like you had sex with someone, but you don't know who it was, so you got to figure it out.
Rhino's got a tattoo around his eye.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for me.
Next thing you know, she's calling him a
I gotta
slut.
go to bed.
Radar, is your sister still there?
Yeah.
How about your mother?
No, she's gone.
Oh, that's
I live in the
bad.
same house as my sister.
Really?
So you can get some pictures?
No. Just check my Facebook, Jesus, my sister.
Does she ever bring home any strange men?
No, just her boyfriend.
Oh, yeah. You ever hear that going on?
Am I bigger than her boyfriend?
Yes.
Am I
That's all
bigger
I
than
need to
your
know.
boyfriend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have a good night, Radar. It was great talking to you again.
But the good thing is she brings some of her friends over sometimes, and their friends are fucking hot.
Yeah. Well,
If her friends are hot, there's a good chance she is too, unless she's the ugly duckling of the group.
What's that saying? An ugly friend, find one, you'll look hotter.
Do me a favor. Next time she brings her boyfriend over, just give him a good smack on the ass and tell him it's from me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you guys
Good
later.
night, sir.
Good night.
See ya.
See, brother. Get that
So the
guy
next
camera.
time I get Guy on here, I'm going to ask him if Radar's sister's hot, just to see what he says.
I'd be like, I have not got her on the casting couch yet.
I don't know. She's very nice.
She tastes like orange candies.
He is Borat all of a sudden for some
Yes,
weird
he
reason.
is.
Very nice.
No, it's not. It's because I can't do any accents. It's not my forte.
Oh no, I was saying me too.
I think there's a lot of judgment against both of us.
Yeah.
From me.
I'm amazed we're still offline. Or we're still online, I should say.
Well, I am amazed we're still online, too, because usually once we get done our topics, if nobody talks to us, I just go offline. But I've noticed that people, for some reason, just like listening to us shoot the shit. I don't know why. It's just kind of stupid to me. We actually did a segment in the van, me and the punter. We did a shooting the shit with the Rhino, and we just, for like 25 minutes on our trip from Stratford back to Kitchener, we just chatted about everything.
Now, has the punter, has he had his kid yet?
Oh yeah, the kid's almost a year old now.
Oh, well, fuck. Has his wife gotten a little...
He told me it was 4 months old.
Yeah, that's almost a year.
Ish.
Not quite, but okay. Has his wife maybe calmed down a little bit? Because I hear she was a little bit possessive when the kid was first born. She didn't want him going anywhere.
We'll talk about that offline.
Offline, okay.
Which I think we're going to go right now is go offline. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Just don't want to talk to us?